Hi and hello, I am Athina Pondian here. Welcome to the control system for the biomedical engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to see the next topic of the block diagram reduction. Till now we have crossed over the single input and single output and how to determine the transfer function. Today we are just going to discuss about how to determine the transfer function for the multi inputs and multi outputs. Come, let me start the class now. We are in this problem, we are supposed to determine the transfer function for the station 1 input and output. Okay, so we are just leave the station 2 output. So what is the thing we need to do is, you just leave this station 2 apart. From the block diagram, you just leave this particular summing point and station 2 and frame the block diagram again. Okay, then you got the new block diagram for the station 1, single input and single output. Then follow the procedure as per we follow the previous sums. Okay, so this is the sum. Then what is the thing we need to do is just leave this station 2 and break up, because we need to determine the transfer function for the station 1 first of all. Okay, so frame the G1, G2, here it is G2, then this summing point, and then you just leave the summing point and put G3 here and then here, and then minus this particular thing is H2, and this straight away go to this particular point, and here this is coming to the H1, I think so, yes, H1, and then this particular summing point is crossed over H3, and here it is coming this direction. So you just leave the station 2, that's all. I just did it. I just leave the station 2, we just remove that and just draw the same thing what we have. Okay, this is the station 1. Okay, because we need to we are supposed to determine the transfer function for the station 1 first of all. Okay, then this is considered as R and this is considered as C. Now we already know that what is the first step we need to do for this block diagram reduction, because this particular multi-input and single output is converted into the single input and single output. So what is the thing we need to follow? Always we are keep on remembering. First of all, we are just look any feedback path is there or not. Okay. Before that, we have only one forward path here, and this is loop, and this is loop, and this is loop. So there is a possibility to framing 3 feedback path here. Okay. So feedback path, this particular path we can able to convert into feedback path by the single step. How? We can able to move this branch point here, then this particular thing is considered as the feedback path. Okay, G1, then this particular summing point. No, don't forget to put up my indication of the sign mark is very important, and here G2, and here it is minus, and here it is G3, and here it is H2, and here at this part, and here if you want to shift this branch point here, then what is the need to do? We need to reciprocate the block of this. So along with the H3 you need to multiply 1 by G3. Okay, so what is the thing we need to do is, along with H3 starts from here. So H3 is already there in the block. Then along with the H3 we need to multiply 1 by G3. Why we just put a multiply 1 by G3? Because we are just jump there ahead of the block. We just jumping the G3. So that is what I just put 1 by G3 here. So we got the equation like this. Then it is very comfortable. Then don't forget, here it is also there, H1. Okay, we are just shifting the branch point here. So that is why we are just converting. Then look, this particular thing is considered as the feedback loop. We can able to remove this. Then this particular 2 is in the cascade connection. Okay, once you are removing this particular feedback path, we are just getting a single block here. Okay, if you are getting a single block here, then this part and this part is cascade connection. Already this part and this part is cascade connection. Okay, so once we are removing this feedback path, in this particular thing, what we got, just do it, just erase this. So we got the block. Once we are removing the feedback path, this particular negative feedback path, I just got the equation as G3 divided by 1 plus G3H2. Then look, this particular 2 is cascade connection. This particular 2 is cascade connection. So multiply this 2 and multiply this 2. And the next step what we need to do is, don't think that this is parallel. Okay, don't think that this is parallel, because this is considered as the loop. Okay, once you are framing this cascade connection, the next step what we need to do is, you need to take the feedback path of this. Okay, I just multiply this, I just do it in the here itself. Here we need to add G2 here. Here we need to add H3 here. Okay, so we got, I just cascading these. So cascade connection is over. Here I got one term and here I got one element. So don't think that this is a parallel connection, because it is a loop. Please remember, it is a loop. So we need to take the feedback path. So here it is connected to the negative feedback path. So this is the negative feedback path. Whole element is considered as a G, and this whole element is considered as H. So G divided by 1 plus GH is the formula. So instead of G, you just put in all this term, and instead of H, you just put all this term. Once you are removing this particular thing, you got only one block. Please remember, once you are removing this particular thing, you got only one block. From the block, this particular G1 is cascade. Okay, then if you are multiplying this cascade connection, then this H1 is a feedback path. Hope you remember. So this is the equation we got, the final output. After removing the feedback and the cascade connection that we discussed, we are getting a final block as like this. Okay, if we want to differentiate the station 1 and station 2, we can able to indicate the suffix as C1. If you want to differentiate which C by R is, consider this C as a C1, and consider the next output will C2. We can able to, if you want to differentiate that particular 2 transfer function, put suffix C1. Okay, then this is the C1 divided by R is equal to, what is the block inside it? Just is the transfer function. So this is the transfer function of station 1. Then what is the next step we need to determine is, we need to determine the transfer function of the station 2. So if you want to differentiate that particular output, I just put 2 here, suffix 2 here. So I want to differentiate that particular output and this particular transfer function. That is what I just put a suffix as T2. Okay, consider this as R. Okay, this input. So here it is input and output. What I did is, I just from this particular given sum, we are supposed to determine the transfer function of the station 2. So that is what I just remove this station 1. Please don't forget, the most important thing is, once you are removing this particular station 1, this feedback path is connected to the G1. The most important thing is this particular minus sign, because this H1 is fully depend on this particular minus sign. So if you want join this particular H1 and G1, you just put minus here. So that is what I just put. I just remove this particular station 1, but I didn't remove this particular minus sign. So I just put minus H1 here. Now it is converted into single input and single output. So as usual, so I just look if there is any feedback path is there or not. Just look here it is a feedback path, here it is a feedback path, there is a disturbance is there, because we are having in between that summing point is there. So here this particular summing point we can't able to remove, because this is the input. Okay, then just think about this particular summing point. If you want to shift this particular summing point here, first of all, okay, if you want to shift this particular summing point here and then interchanging the summing point, please remember this particular summing point, if it is come here, then if you want to interchange this particular thing, then we got the G2H3 separate feedback path. Hope you understand. So this is what we got. What I did is, I just shift this branch summing point behind the block G2. Because of moving the summing point behind the block, I just add 1 by G2 here, reciprocate here. Then what is the thing we need to do is, just interchange this particular summing point. If you do this interchange, if you want to interchange this particular summing point, then we got the separate feedback path H3G2. Just look, I just shift the summing point. Once I move the summing point behind the block, I just interchange. Once I interchange this, we got the equation like this. Then we have the separate feedback path here. So remove this particular feedback path and remove this particular cascade connection. That is the two things we can able to do. So the first thing is, after interchanging the summing point, what is the thing we need to do is remove this particular feedback path and remove this cascade connection. At the same time, here it is start from one point and it is go on, it is connected to this. This is also a cascade connection, that is G1 and minus H1. This is also a cascade connection. You just please multiply this. The cascade connection rule is you need to multiply the both elements. So minus G1 H1 is cascading here, and here this feedback path is removed here, and this particular H2 and 1 by G2 is cascade connection. We just multiply here. So apply all the rules and get the block. Like we are just taking all this eliminations and the feedbacks connections and parallel cascade connection is over. We got the block like this. So just look the next step. This particular H2G2 and this particular minus G1, it is in the parallel connection. Okay, this is in the parallel connection. This is not a loop. It is start from one point and end towards some other point. So this is the parallel connection. We just add this particular thing. So this summing point is removed and this two connection is in the parallel connection. So what I did is I just adding this particular thing because it is in the parallel connection. So I just add this two. Main thing you need to remember is, even though we need to add this particular two things, this summing point is minus sign. So this particular H2G2 having a minus sign already. If you are adding this two, you are just add like minus G1 H1 minus H2G2. Okay, because it is in the parallel connection. Please look, it is not a loop. So it is in the parallel connection. I just adding this. The most important thing is you need to put a minus sign here. Even though you are removing the summing point, need to put a minus sign here. Okay, then you just got the like this. Then the remaining point is here and the remaining things here. The next step what you need to do is, you just look this particular block. Here it is an input. Okay, here it is an input. It is moving, and then this particular input again it is coming to the input. So this G3 is an element. It is considered as the feedback path. So this whole thing is considered as the feedback path. It is just like a loop. Just listen. Here come an input, it is go as an output. This output is not sufficient. So this particular input, this particular output is again go as an input like this. So somewhat it is just look like it is just 100% loop. So it is a feedback path. So this whole time, this term and this term is it is in the cascade connection. You need to multiply this, and the whole block is considered as the feedback block. So considered as H. Then you just remove this particular feedback path, that is H, and this particular G2. This is what we got. So once you are removing that particular feedback path, we got the block, reduce the block like this. So the whole blocks and the summing point and the branch point is reduced into the single block by applying the block diagram reduction rule. Here we got the second station transfer function, that is C2 divided by R is equal to what is the block inside the element is the answer. Here we have the two inputs and one output. So we got the two transfer function, that is C1 divided by R and C2 divided by R. So we got that two transfer function perfectly. The one thing you need to remember, keep on remembering while you are doing the transfer function determination, just take if there is any feedback path there. If it is not feedback path is there, then shift the branch point ahead of the block or behind the block and get arrange the feedback path. Or if in case the branch point move is not enough, then move the summing point behind the block or ahead of the block. Do that. So keep on remembering, framing the feedback, it is very comfortable for you to reduce the block from multiple blocks into a single block. That is a very comfortable way to determine the transfer function also. So hope you understand the block diagram reduction perfectly. So if you have any doubt regarding this particular block diagram reduction everything, you just ask me any clarifications through the classroom itself. So in the next class you are going to see the next topic. There is a last topic of your first unit, that is signal flow graph. Okay, thank you very much.